Hello everybody and welcome. I'm Eric. Today we're going to have a little conversation about how your body is sabotaging your own efforts to reach your goals and what you can do about it. So let me start with a quote from René Descartes that says, "I think, therefore I am." I think that's a very interesting quote. And he also said, "Conquer yourself instead of conquering the world." Well, that's according to historians. I wasn't there, so I don't know. Anyways, although I find that very interesting, I think it's part of his fault that we still think that there is duality. We still think that there is a separation between mind and body. Because he used to think that mind is done by the brain and the brain is in charge of doing everything else. Now we know it's not like that. Even though Darwin said that there was a connection between mind and body, we still think like René Descartes. We still think that there are two different things, that, we need to work the body as if it was something different than the mind, when it's not like that. It's like in quantum physics. I'm not a physicist, but I like to study about it. I like to read about it. They talk about the superposition of a particle, where one particle can be in different places at the same time. So whatever you do to one particle is going to affect the other the same. It's the same way. It's not like what you do to the mind is not going to affect the body. It's the same stuff. So whatever you do to your mind is going to affect your body. Whatever you do to your body is going to affect your mind in one way or another. Now, there is very important for us to understand all the research that is happening now regarding mind-body stuff. One of the researchers that they are talking about now is how to fight depression. And to fight depression, when people are depressed, they tend to frown, you see, and the frowning causes them to feel certain things. So they get in Botox injection right here. So they're not capable of frowning. And because they're not capable of frowning, then they can't call upon that feeling, that sadness that they get. That's why you see a lot of people that get Botox in the face, they look like clowns, right? They look like the Joker. Now, if they continue to do that, an injection takes like 4 to 6 months, whatever. So if they continue in the injection being incapable of feeling those feelings, that neuronal connection in the brain falls apart. So they stop feeling depressed. Isn't that fantastic? So just from you stop doing something with your body, then your body is gonna read it differently. Now, why am I talking about this? I'm talking about this because there are things that we do with our body. I was just talking about the face, but there's also things we do with our shoulders, with our backs, and things we move it in a certain way, we tense it in a certain way, that calls upon a certain feeling, a certain emotion in us. And we've created that from a long time ago. There was a situation when I was younger, for example, that made me feel a strong feeling towards something, and then I created a certain way of moving, that every time I move in that way, it makes me feel that thing that I felt back then. So if you want to change that, and I've been talking about this in other videos, do the opposite. So if moving like that makes you feel sad, or makes you feel like you want to sabotage your efforts to reach a goal, then start moving your body the opposite every time you feel that. And every time you get that feeling creeping up, that emotion creeping up, you need to pay attention to what your body does. So as you pay attention to that, then you change what you're doing with your body in that very moment. And then you do it again, and then you do it again, and then you do it again. It's no different from the Botox injection. No different. Botox injection is going to cause you to start feeling sad, to start feeling depressed, until you get to the point where there's no connection between the neurons that are making you feel that. It happens the same way. The only difference is that you're gonna have to be a little more aware of what exactly you do with your body in those instances, which I think is fantastic. Because as you create awareness of the things you do, you create awareness of your life. You create awareness of your body, you create awareness of your life. Why? Because it's the same stuff. As within, so without. As above, so below. My body, same thing. So creating awareness of your inner self and your movements and so forth is going to create awareness of your life as a whole. So if you want to change the way you go about your goals, if you want to stop sabotaging the way you go about your goals, you need to start with your body. That's the easiest way to go about it. Because, and I know because it happens to me too. It happened to me too, where I started doing some things and I started going and I was all, happy and excited about reaching this goal. And then I would get to a point and I say, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. This is boring. Or I will give myself whatever excuse not to do it. And then I will start with something else. But I know that also has to do with the way I was brought up and the things I learned when I was little, and feeling maybe that if I make it to that point, if I reach my goal, I'm probably not going to have my friends with me, or I'm not going to be loved, or whatever it is that I created unconsciously. Now, even though that's true, we can break that by breaking what we do with our body. Okay, so our body does certain things and certain movement that creates certain emotions, so we do the opposite. And I've been saying this in a million different ways in every video that I make, but it's how you do it. It's just how you do it. And then you do it, and then you do it, and then you do it until there's no more connections in your neurons that create that pattern in you. It's like in neuro-linguistic programming in NLP. If you know anything about NLP, NLP talks a lot about what I'm just saying. They kind of change the information from one side of the brain to the other, if I can call it like that. If you do something with your body and they see how you're doing with your body, they're going to have you do the opposite. So you stop feeling that stuff. But it's not just there. Then they make you aware of what you did with your body. So when you're not in therapy, then you practice that yourself every time that feeling, that emotion creeps up. Your body has the key. Body is the answer. You can think. You can, just think about things and say, yeah, I'm going to think differently. But thinking differently doesn't happen just in your head. And that's what I want you to understand. Thinking differently has to go with your whole system. Okay? So if you say, okay, I'm going to be more positive, but you sound like this all the time, yeah, you're not going to be as positive. That's not going to happen. So the being positive happens with a certain posture. It happens with you moving in a certain way. It happens with you speaking in a certain way, with a certain tone, feeling probably in charge. You understand what I'm saying? So these are the things that we need to pay attention to if we are to change our body to help us reach our goals. Reaching our goals and moving the body is not like these are two different things. It's, one affects the other, just like body and mind. As within, so without. One thing affects the other. Okay? So why not use the things that is the easiest for you and is right there with you all the time? That's your body. Use that. Anyways, repeating myself a little bit. So I'm going to leave it to here. But we'll continue until lambs become lions. Don't forget, be bodyful. Be bodyful. Mindfulness is bodyfulness. Bodyfulness is what you see every day, is the thing you move. So be bodyful. You don't need to sit in one place and close your eyes to be bodyful. You can be bodyful as you move along your day. I'll see you on the next video. Any questions, any doubts, let me know. Ciao.